With NFL teams spending more and more money on top talent, football execs are looking for ways to get the most bang for their buck.
Tina Servasio shows us how a deep dive into stats can help teams draw up a winning game plan.
Oakland Athletics general manager Billy Beane used outside-the-box numbers collected by software engineers, Wall Street analysts, and physics professors to build a team with the second lowest payroll in the league, inspiring the Moneyball term, book, and motion picture. But where does statistical analysis and predictive analytics stand in the NFL?
I wanted to come up with a way that was easy to understand so that fans could get a look at how athletic a guy is.
Kent Lee Platty is a self-proclaimed math guy and football enthusiast. He's built a database of 20,000 players and their relative athletic score, or RAS.
Relative athletic scores is a 0 to 10 score that grades player athleticism based on 10 combine metrics. It uses height and weight, so there is some size weighting in there for the scores. Then, of course, the 40-yard dash, the 20 and 10-yard splits, the bench press, shuttle and cone, and then the vertical and broad jump.
For example, new Jets star running back Le'Veon Bell has an 8.91 RAS, classifying him as an elite athlete.
Le'Veon Bell was one of the guys that made me want to do this, is that back when he came out of the draft, there was all this talk about how he lacked athleticism, but because he ran a 4.6 40-yard dash time. But when you look at all of his other metrics, that's not a poor athlete.
The Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr., who has an 8.82 RAS. Receiver Sterling Shepard, who remains with Big Blue, rates a 7.62, a shade under the elite marker.
Sterling Shepard has really good speed. He's very explosive. His agility drills weren't that good. But a lot of that shows up on the field. You know, he is an explosive playmaker. He can do a lot of things in the open field.
The NFL has its own system called Next Gen Stats, which is player tracking, capturing the speed and acceleration for every player, on every play, in every game, via sensors throughout the stadium and on players' shoulder pads.
And while the NFL proposes that they are advancing the game through data science and engineering, if you ask any great football mind that has been around the game for decades, they'll tell you analytics has actually been around for a long time.
Analytics has been around since Vince Lombardi. It has always been a part of sports strategy. Now it's just packaged for public consumption.
From the showroom floor of his G3 sports clothing company, New York Giants great and two-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks reflects on his coach's approach compared to what he saw in the Super Bowl this year in the Los Angeles Rams' pace of play.
I was kind of groomed by Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells that you have to make in-game adjustments, right? So I don't know if they were sticking with it because analytics said it, but I guarantee you if they went with a hurry-up offense or a change-of-pace offense, it would have caught the New England Patriots off guard.
That's game prep. Can math rate the value of how much a player should be paid?
The one thing that the analytics can do now, because players are so specialized, you can tell what they are and what their value is just based on what they can do.
But there's also an old-school take. You can't measure desire, discipline, or heart.
The human side doesn't factor into it. Because it will tear up a model.
In Midtown Manhattan, Tina Servasio, Fox 5 News.